Hi friends, welcome back to watching paint dry. So, 2026. People thought that by today we'd have flying cars, see an end to world hunger, and cure any disease with ease. Obviously, none of that has happened, and instead, after thousands of years of hard-fought survival and evolution, we have entered the age of artificial intelligence. And thank God, who wants all that socialist garbage anyways, when thanks to AI, you can now finally make Jake Paul into the true gay icon he was always destined to be. It's not news to anyone that AI has seeped into every crevice, nook, and cranny in our daily lives. Nothing is safe anymore. Music, artwork, literature, visual media, your job probably, cars, online stores, the list goes on. We are approaching a time when creating something with your own brain, the very pinnacle of what it means to be human, is being threatened by Blitzcrank from League of Legends. A bunch of amazing videos have already been made on this, in my opinion, very scary topic, but something that really hasn't appeared on my radar yet is how companies and other money-hungry freaks leveraging AI are starting to take over content creation spaces. And I'm not talking about AI slop content farms that are quite literally ruining video sharing platforms as a whole. That content has been plaguing the internet for a while now.
Swinging axe, another tree bites the dust. Fresh air and deforestation, my kind of day.
No, I'm talking about AI-generated influencers, which are digital personas fully created by AI. Here, to start off, let's play a little game. I'll show you some pictures off Instagram and you tell me whether they are real people or fully generated by AI. Okay? 3, 2, 1, go. Real or AI? She is real. What about this one? That is AI. How's about this picture? This is also AI. And this one? That's just kidding, it's also fake. Anyways, you get the point. They can look cartoonish and obviously fake, or completely human-like and realistic. Like eerily realistic. Be honest, did you guess this one correctly? If so, congrats, you are a better person than me. Usually, these AI influencers interact with people online in the same way that normal influencers would, sharing beauty, fashion, travel, and day-to-day content as if they were real human people. To be clear, this isn't a brand new thing we're seeing. The first instance of a successful virtual human-like creator, if you can call it that, dates back to 2016. Meet Lil Miquela, a 22-year-old American-Brazilian influencer from South California. She got her start on Instagram and got pretty big on her own. But if you remember back in 2016, Shane Dawson, of all people, actually covered her story to give Miquela even more of a push. Back then, there was a big mystery surrounding her character. Where did she come from? How was she made? Is she modeled after a real person? Heck, lots of people thought she was a real person who overly photoshopped her pictures.
So what you're saying is you are a real person?
I'm saying I'm really talking to you right now.
If you scroll back to her very first Instagram post, the fact that Miquela isn't a real person becomes pretty obvious. Unless you're like 83 years old or Shane Dawson. And that fact was officially confirmed in 2018 when Miquela came out with the whole story behind her creation. Apparently, Miquela is a robot made by a company in Silicon Valley, but then a tech company called Bread saved her, reprogrammed her, and started using her to generate money for the company. You're telling me you have teams of people working on a backstory for a CGI persona? And this is what you landed on? You decided to make your own company appear as a kidnapper and abuser in this version of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Yeah, okay. Goes hard, actually. I mean, people make fun of industry plants, but this is truly the next level. They couldn't find the perfect plant, so they literally made one. While I find this stuff to be creepy and disingenuous, that doesn't seem to bother the majority of consumers because Miquela is pretty popular. 2 million followers on Instagram, almost 100,000 monthly listeners on Spotify, with her top song sitting at 73 million streams. Estimated yearly earnings of $10 million. Partnerships with huge brands, Calvin Klein, Prada, Samsung, as well as appearing alongside big names like Bella Hadid, 50 Cent, and Millie Brownie Bob.
Oh my God! 4 quarters!
So back when Miquela got her start, the ability to build your own influencer was reserved for people or companies that had the necessary resources and design skills to bring a virtual human to life. It's a lot of work, modeling and building, designing, applying texture, clothing, choreographing poses, and so on. Today, you don't need to do all that. If Steve down at Popeyes wants to create his own 22-year-old American Brazilian quirky girl in between flipping burgers, it is incredibly simple to do so with the help of AI. All you need to do to recreate the work of designers and 3D modelers is to type a couple of prompts into a slop generator of your choosing, and your very own freak of nature is born. As said, Miquela is a popular girl, and of course, that kind of success doesn't go unnoticed. Because of how easy and lucrative creating your own virtual character is, of course, we are seeing a massive influx in fresh new AI faces. And now we have made it to the point where Instagram is overflowing with these types of accounts. For the most part, the models are all very realistic looking women who all fit the beauty standard to a T. Tiny waist, perfect bone structure, big boobs, nice smile, long hair, big boobs, long legs, good style, big boobs. It's not that I'm jealous or anything. It's just like, show some originality. You know? Like 99% of content on these accounts is direct copies of what the most followed fake influencers are doing. The most popular genre is no doubt the rich travel girl type of content. Private yachts, luxurious destinations, nice dinners, fancy cars, and whatever the fuck this is. Also, you can't be an AI influencer baddie if every single picture of you isn't half naked. Girl in bikinis at the pool, another girl in bikinis at the pool. Oh look, another girl in bikinis, but she's on the beach this time. They clearly know what they are doing and who these accounts appeal to. Using women's bodies and likeness is a dream job nowadays, I guess. The biggest irony is that they call themselves digital creators. Girl, what have you created? A thought couldn't form in your head even if God himself came down and tried to squeeze one in. Because that's how AI works. It doesn't think or create. It steals the creative work of real people and mushes it into whatever the prompter wants. One of the most popular examples of a lifeless AI model is Emily Pellegrini. Now, her account is a bit of a shiny Pokemon because we actually know who manages it. And this knowledge isn't the result of some prolonged investigation. No, the manager himself loves to boast about owning a bunch of these AI girls like he's the second coming of Andrew Tate. Because clearly, this guy is very proud of his work.
My name is Professor EP. If I look familiar, chances are you've seen Emily Pellegrini all over social media.
I am not real. I was created with AI. I model, I influence, and yes, I make money online.
Professor EP? Well damn, I didn't know EDP445 was back online, but to be honest, I wouldn't expect anything less of him. Well, in any case, Professor EP is the definition of a gross, slimy guru who claims to have found the secret to becoming rich with minimal effort. And the secret can of course only be found in the course he's trying to sell you.
If you're anything like me, you like one part of the AI business, which is making money, but you don't like the other part, becoming an AI expert. For a long time, I asked myself one question. How can I tap into the 1 trillion AI gold rush without needing any technical skills whatsoever? I saw the same pattern everywhere. Every successful method demanded at least one of 3 things. Thousands of dollars to start, years to develop complex skills, or showing your face and building a personal brand. And that's when it hit me. What if there was a way to tap into the influencer economy without being an influencer?
And that's when I discovered exploiting women. So as this guy himself points out, he doesn't really have any remarkable skill or talent for anything. And every business venture he has previously embarked on, he has completely failed at because those take actual effort and work. But instead of taking the time to get actually good at something, he has now resorted to using the likeness and bodies of women for his own profit. This Squid Game VIP lookalike is not revolutionizing anything. He just realized that sex sells, and because AI allows anyone to cosplay as a woman nowadays, he is just pandering to the male gaze while also reinforcing the unattainable standards for women. He also goes on to talk about how influencers are buying mansions and are millionaires, and how what he's doing is really not any different, which is just absolutely ludicrous because while I agree that most influencer content nowadays is very low effort and the amount of wealth they have is a bit insane, they are still real people who have put themselves out there. Most of them have created a very strong personal brand which takes lots of effort and work. There's a lot that goes into creating a brand that people really resonate with, and obviously that's a lot harder than just generating a hot girl. Also, who's that guy walking behind you? Are you telling me that's not actually your house and you just use it as a backdrop? Aw, man. And I really thought you were cool too.
I took everything I learned and put it into a step-by-step program that shows you how to start your own AI influencer business the right way.
If Emily truly is so successful, why would you ever sell the blueprint to her success? You're only creating competitors for yourself. Cause here's the thing, Emily has nothing interesting about her. The only reason people flock to her is because she is attractive. She has no personality. So what exactly separates her from 100,000 other AI influencers who are doing essentially the same thing?
He don't got a clue in the fucking world.
By the way, in the course, he calls what he does, his job, AI pimping. Yeah, if that doesn't tell you that there is something very deeply wrong here, I don't know what will. Apparently, Professor EP created Emily by asking ChatGPT what type of women your average Joe is most attracted to. Truly commendable talent and skill. Despite Professor Eat That Pussy 445's insane skill at using AI tools, apparently Emily Pellegrini might not be 100% AI generated after all. People online have claimed that some photos on Emily's page are allegedly stolen from real-life models, with just their faces tweaked to fit Emily's likeness. This photo was supposedly posted onto Emily's page, and if you were to reverse image search it, you would get this image of actual Instagram influencer Lena Perez. If this photo was posted on Emily's account, there is no doubt that Mr. EDP is stealing other people's photos. But since no such post can be found on Emily's page, it is all just speculation. I also found this Instagram story on EP's profile, where one of his students from his course is asking about doing a face swap. Very interesting is all I'm gonna say. What is not up for debate, however, is the fact that grand photo theft is very much happening. There are hundreds of AI-generated influencers who are stealing videos from real models and adult content creators, slapping on their own AI-generated faces and monetizing real women's bodies with links to dating sites, Patreon, or any OnlyFans type sites that allow AI. One of the biggest accounts in this category was Chloe Johnson, whose page has thankfully been nuked by Instagram. But basically, Chloe, or whoever was behind Chloe, was illegitimately downloading photos and videos of pretty well-known models or unknown small-time creators alike, and face-swapping her AI model's face onto the bodies of these very real people. This was the case for pretty much every single post. Chloe's page then linked to a site called FanView, which is basically a copy of OnlyFans, containing pay-per-view content. And what that content involved, I'm sure you can make a well-educated guess. So to sum it up simple and plain, Chloe was stealing the likeness of real people and producing porn with the help of AI, all while marketing it through Instagram and probably making a handful of cash doing it. Now, Chloe got banned because her photos were eventually tracked back to the original creators she was stealing from. But Instagram only takes action against stolen AI content if it is reported by the rights owner. So if I were to post a selfie and someone else screenshotted it, ran it through some AI tool and posted it on their own account, and then one of my viewers were to find and report their post for stolen content, Instagram would not give a fuck. Only I could make a report that would actually be taken seriously. And this is a problem for a multitude of reasons. Firstly, there are way too many fake accounts to keep track of. Secondly, reporting these accounts could backfire on the content creators themselves, especially if you were to be making adult content. It's also quite difficult to find whether a piece of content has been stolen because reverse image search tools do not always work. Because of how easy it is to get away with this practice and how big the potential payout could be, hundreds if not thousands of basement dwellers are still continuing to steal other people's photos in hopes of quick cash. This is honestly one of the saddest things I've seen in a while. Will the objectification of women's bodies ever end? Will we ever have a moment of peace? Oh, what's that? These AI freaks are making upwards of 10K a month? Yeah, probably not. Another big issue I have with these accounts is that a large number of them do not disclose that they aren't real people. And AI has gotten so good that from a lot of these pictures, even to the keenest of observers, it's getting ridiculously hard to tell what's real and what's fake. At least Emily does confirm it in a pinned video, and if you looked around for more than 2 seconds, it's clear she's not real. The same, however, cannot be said for a large number of these creators. Some of them have millions of followers with no disclaimers to be seen anywhere. The most egregious example is Sienna Rosley, who is huge on Spotify, and people are still debating whether she's real or not.
This is Sienna Rose. Oh, wait. Yeah, you thought that it was the image of the black woman, right? Yeah, well, it used to be this. They also used this image at one point, and now it looks like this, but it's all the same. It's all the same. And I have had some people say, how can you tell that it's AI? It looks very real. And to that I say, how can you not tell?
In my opinion, this should not be legal. Am I crazy for thinking that people deserve to know where the content they're consuming is coming from? Moving on from musicians, lots of people think Emily Pellegrini is a real model. She has apparently even fooled famous footballers and NFL players, who are all sliding into her DMs to ask for her hand in just a quick, completely safe trip to Dubai. And nobody's surprised, because who do you think the main demographic for these posts is? Who would be consuming content of half-naked hot women with open arms? If you said lonely old men, congrats, you are one smart cookie. Your prize is the ability to like the video and click the shiny big red button. No negative consequences will follow, I swear. The comment section underneath any AI influencer's post is divided into 2 groups: creepy old men and other AI influencers trying to get attention. And you can't even blame these men, because all they see is a hot girl. They probably can't even tell that it's not real. How does it feel to goon to female ChatGPT, or worse, some Indian guy pretending to be one? Also, there is no way that at least half of these comments aren't botted accounts. You're telling me there isn't a single comment calling this lady a clanker? That is not the internet I know and love. But seriously, this stuff has to be regulated and labeled, because it's just dishonest. Even gooners deserve to know what they're gooning to. It's common decency. To make you feel a bit better, I can tell you that not all AI influencers are sexually exploitative. There are still normal ones out there. In addition to Miquela, who we talked about before, there are a bunch of others who are doing your regular run-of-the-mill influencer stuff. Wait a second. KDA? Yo, leave my girls at KDA out of this. This should be considered defamation. Riot, get on this. As I was saying, there are a bunch of AI creators to choose from. There's accounts from every nationality and niche you could ever imagine. My favorite has to be this one, because she likes to talk a lot about issues like sustainability. Yeah, hate to break it to you, love, but AI and sustainability do not belong in the same sentence together. And similarly to the exploitative accounts we talked about before, these influencers are really killing it when it comes to generating revenue. Many of the biggest virtual influencer accounts today have major brand partnerships. And that success is often tied to the fact that these accounts are run by AI or tech companies. And quite often, the people behind these personas are male CEOs. I just get this icky feeling thinking about how these accounts are ran by men, essentially cosplaying as women.
AI influencers with vitiligo have been really popular lately. So let's try and generate some human, female, mixed, eyes deep brown, vitiligo like we wanted, and adult. Okay.
An AI influencer is just an AI influencer. You're not gonna get rich selling soap with an AI influencer. You're gonna get rich selling AI kits.
I don't think it's normal that women's appearances and bodies are used as a front to push an agenda that is not coming from real women. It creates a situation where influence that looks female is actually controlled by men, which can mislead audiences and take space away from real women and their experiences.
You are in very high risk of getting some copyright issues because you literally stole someone's background. But if you take a look at the video that I have replicated right now with Clink Motion Control, you see that the movements are literally the same, with the exception that the background has stayed the same.
And I haven't even mentioned the fact that these white men cosplaying as women of color are taking away resources, opportunities, and space from real people of that demographic. Anyone can now LARP as a minority. You are posing as a member of a marginalized group without having to bear any of the hardships that come along with it, all the while reaping the benefits.
Everyone was making AI content tailored to a male audience. I saw a huge gap for something made for women, something that felt like a real personality. She's funny, relatable, brutally honest, and still empowering.
I told Ken not to buy this dumb car. I put in like $80 of gas and it's still not moving. I clicked all the buttons. I even said, please, what more do you want from me?
Does this bitch even know what she's doing?
I know how to fix engines and fragile male egos. Yours needs a full rebuild.
Wow, yeah, this blatant Barbie copy makes me feel so empowered. Thank you so much for this amazing contribution to the female gender. In the full video, they harp on about how important it is to give your character a unique personality and story. But every joke Dolly posts is indirectly stolen from the internet because it is entirely created with tools that don't create, but poach content that already exists. I hope you realize that anything AI generates in principle, cannot be original or unique. AI can only imitate but never surpass the quality of the data it's been trained on. Also, it's just weird as shit. Still, large brands love working with AI influencers because of course they do. Human influencers are just that. Human. They are unpredictable. They might get involved in scandals or say the wrong thing from time to time.
Jeez, oh my god.
As a company, you don't want your brand to be associated with someone who's getting blasted on the internet for something questionable they did 13 years ago. AI influencers don't suffer from this problem. They are often controlled by teams of people, which allows for a perfectly curated brand presence. Well, actually, that's not completely true. Miquela has actually been the target of heavy criticism. In 2019, she posted a vlog detailing her experience with being sexually assaulted in an Uber.
But then I noticed the other rider wouldn't stop staring at me. Like, okay, sure, I looked cute in my Club 404 tennis skirt, but then, sure enough, I just feel this guy's cold, meaty hand touch my leg, as if he was confirming I'm real. His hand literally lingers there, rubbing my skin. I, of course, was like, curb your enthusiasm, and asked him to stop. And he took his sweet-ass time removing his hand, kind of like he was threatening me. This creepy-ass man, meanwhile, starts laughing and says, what about down there? So I'm like, please pull over now.
I genuinely cannot believe that this company thought, how can we make Miquela, someone who doesn't exist, seem more realistic? What do women even do? Oh, I got it. Let's have her pretend to be sexually assaulted. That's a female experience classic. Straight up exploiting real people's trauma for their little plotline. But my point still remains true for the most part. They are strategically engineered to attract a certain audience, appear polished in every single way, and can be fully controlled to say or do whatever the company wants. AI creators also don't need to piss, shit, eat, sleep, or take mental health breaks. They never burn out, and every millisecond that a human creator wastes brushing their teeth is a millisecond your company could have been using to make more money. They are also insanely cheap to make and maintain, so it's no surprise that every company is churning out their very own influencers like it's a real-life GTA cheat code. And you might be thinking, oh boohoo, how tragic that content creators might receive less sponsors and not be millionaires anymore. Truly, no one cares. And you are completely correct for thinking that, but that's not my point, because I don't actually believe we'll see AI creators taking over human ones anytime soon. Because the overwhelming majority of consumers still prefer real human connections and authenticity from the content they consume compared to whatever a computer can generate. I mean, how many times have you seen a cool video, then realized it was AI generated, and immediately felt bad about yourself for ever thinking it was cool? My point comes back to labeling AI content once more. I will say it again. A large percentage of people, especially children or the elderly, can't quite tell the difference between real and AI, and it's only going to get worse from here. Last year, one elderly couple traveled 5,000 miles across country to see a tourist attraction that didn't exist. It was fully AI generated, and this is sadly not an isolated incident. Soon, most of us will not be able to spot the difference. We already know how damaging comparing yourself to what you see online can be, and if today's creators can fool people into thinking that they have glass-like skin and an hourglass body that bends space and time around them, what impact will people that are specifically created to look and act perfect have? At least with human creators, you can compare pictures and videos, or maybe see real-life third-party pictures of what they actually look like to break the illusion of perfection. But with AI, there is no such option. As someone from Vox puts it, they are physically perfect women made of pixels, standing in for women who have long been pressured to become physically perfect, without the advantage of that even being possible. Perfectly sums it up for me. You have an amazing body. I want one just like it. Okay, you're an AI creator. Just generate one. See, it's even affecting other AI bots. That's how you know it's getting real serious. In general, I have less of a problem with AI creators who look cartoonish or who can be easily distinguished from real people and don't claim to be real. At least there is some level of creativity that goes into making a character like that appeal to an audience. If you think about it, how different are they really from other digital creations serving as the face for some person or group in real life? Aside from being AI generated, of course. But using virtual characters, that's what Gorillaz does. That's KDA. Heck, that's like every company's mascot ever, and that's also me. I'm using my Kisu character to talk to you right now, and obviously she isn't AI, she's hand-drawn by my lovely best friend, but my character represents me and my thoughts. Same way as the green iconic gecko represents the interest and image of Geico, the insurance company. I'm not pretending to be this angsty Azula lookalike online, while actually being a middle-aged man behind the screen. Allegedly. Gorillaz is a virtual band made by Damon Albarn, a man, and one of the members of the band he created is Noodle, a virtual girl. But he's not making Noodle go around talking about her experiences of being a woman. It could never come off as genuine because those experiences simply aren't real. And yet, they still managed to give her an awesome and captivating storyline to expand on the band's lore without exploiting exploiting or hijacking the stories of real people. Also, character design and creation is such a beautiful art that takes lots of work. But having these lazy, exploitative AI creations, partnering with Prada and whatnot, it's just really disheartening and sad to see. No matter how you look at it, there is no way around it. Realistic AI generation has to be regulated in some way. A good first step is making it mandatory to add a tag to every post that involves AI in any way. Some platforms are already doing this, but it's not strictly enforced, and many of the most important platforms don't even care. In fact, they are embracing the use of AI. YouTube, for example, recently came out with a 2026 update claiming that they are aware of AI slop but aren't doing much about it. I don't know, are we cooked? You tell me. I'd love to hear what you think about this AI influencer epidemic in the comments. After you're done with that, you should check out some of my other videos because I am allegedly not AI generated and in fact a real person. Thank you so much for watching this whole video. Wow, you are a trooper. This is like the longest video I've ever made. It took me like a week to write and research for it because I'm horrible at script writing, but here we are. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed. Also, let me know how you like this length of content. Do you prefer shorter or longer videos? I really can't decide. That's it. Thank you. Okay, bye.